Welcome to the Corpse Club, the official podcast of dailydead.com. I am one of your co-hosts, Derek Anderson, and I'm thrilled to be joined today by my fellow co-host, Scott Drebit. Thank you for joining me today, Scott.
Derek, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. It is not often that you and I get to just hang and chill and spit on each other, which is what we're going to do a lot of today. So I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's a very immersive episode we have planned today. And, you know, with just you and I on the episode, listeners, you might be thinking, are Scott and Derek going to talk about their favorite 80s rock songs? Are they going to discuss the movies of William Girdler? You would maybe think so, but actually we have something else spooky in store for everyone today. And that is because, you know, the leaves are turning, the nights are getting longer, the air is getting colder, and the spooky season is upon us once again. So kind of like last year, we thought it was a great time to bring back our horror movie fall preview episode, where we take a look at the calendar, we flip that calendar open, and we look at, you know, some of our most anticipated horror movies. And there is a lot to look forward to in the next few months on the old horror calendar this year.
There really is way more actually than I even originally thought. Well, not that, I mean, you're the senior news editor. I don't exactly have my pulse on the latest and greatest of horror. I try, and I try and keep up as best as I can. You know that about me, Derek. There's
absolutely.
There's a lot going on this fall. A lot of stuff. Some you've already seen through festivals, and you're going to talk about that. One I'm hoping to see this very weekend that this airs, and just some other great stuff. Really mind-bending stuff coming up, I think, in the next couple months. And I'm so excited. So let's get going and let's talk about some of these bad boys, shall we?
Let's do it, Scott.
And girls, bad boys and girls, we should say.
Absolutely. And we are going to dive in. Do you want to start us off, Scott? Do you want to?
Sure.
Start
yes.
it going?
I'm going to get it going because before you and I started talking, I watched a trailer for Lucky McKee's new film, Old Man, with Stephen Lang, about a hiker who comes across an old man in the woods. And it looks like it's full of twists and turns and deception and secrets and batshittery. It looks like it builds to quite a crescendo. It looks really well done. It looks really has this sinister undercurrent to it that you're not quite sure what's going on, which I find super exciting. Written by Joel Veitch, who, as far as I know, this is his first feature credit. So looking forward to seeing what this brings. But yeah, Old Man. And again, like I said, I just literally watched the trailer, and all I can say is it's a great trailer that shows a lot of promise. And God, Stephen Lang. I mean, I'm so glad it's not a Don't Breathe movie. So thank you, Stephen. And yeah, Old Man, looking forward to it. And I think that's coming out
October 14th.
Thank you.
From RLJE Films. It'll be one of those like theatrical, on-demand, digital. So it seems like you'll be able to see it in numerous platforms the day it's released. But
at once, you can go to the theater, watch it, go home, get it on VOD, and pay for that, and then like illegally pirate it and do that too.
Although we may or may not recommend that last option, but you're right. You can definitely. It's multimedia, man. It's the future is now.
Don't silence me. I'm telling you, pirate the movie. No, don't pirate. Pirating's the worst, people. Come on, I'm joking. Anyway, Old Man, it looks really good. And you know what? I hope it's a big success for Lucky McKee, because He's just an amazing filmmaker, and I wish nothing but great things for him. And maybe this one will be a big success. That would be cool.
Yeah, you are not wrong to be anticipating this. I got to have the pleasure of seeing the world premiere for this movie at Popcorn Frights Film Festival. Not to humble brag there, but it was great. One of the producers, Cameron Burns, was in attendance, and then actually they had Lucky McKee and the co-star of the movie and producer Mark Center do like a Zoom Q&A after the film. So it was a really cool experience. And you're absolutely right about the whole like mind-bending element of it. It's definitely, there's a lot going on, and it's one of those movies where you kind of sit with it afterwards and you kind of look at everything a little bit differently. So I'm really excited just to see the reactions from people watching this. But most of all, it's just such a great showcase for Stephen Lang and Mark Center, who just are like, it almost feels like they're in a stage play because the acting is just front and center.
Well, that's what I get from like the trailer is it has a very, and I mean that in the best way, it has a parlor room feel to it. And I haven't seen, I think the last time I saw a good one of that was Scare Me, Josh Rubin's movie from a few years back. And I love to see that in film sometimes. I like hearing people talk and converse with each other. I love a good conversation and a good back and forth, a good tete-a-tete, a good pirouette. I don't know. A talkie. I like talkies.
Well, you will love. I think you'll love this one. Then
now, let me ask. I mean, of course, it's hard to speculate, but is it and I don't mean for this to come across as crass or anything, but does it seem like a movie that would have a good commercial chance? Is it I don't want to say is it mainstream, but does it seem like it would go over like it's going to go over well with audiences?
I think so. I think if given the right marketing push, I think audiences who see it will like it enough to spread the word. I feel like just having Stephen Lang front and center there's a lot of commercial appeal there. It still kind of has that like indie darling sensibility about it. It's very much like a crafty kind of like micro budget, but like maximum output kind of movie. Yeah. So it feels bigger than it is in some ways. And I hope that it finds the audience. Like, I feel like if this eventually gets on Shudder, I think it'll find a big audience. I think there's a lot of the thing with October is there's so much to compete with. I think this is coming out like the same day as Halloween ends. And so there's going to be a lot of competition. Never heard of it. But I think it'll find a good niche within the horror community and people who maybe even, it's very like genre adjacent in some ways too. I think it's very accessible, but also very intense in other departments. So I guess to answer your question, I think it can find that audience. It might have to work for it a little bit, swim upstream a little bit for it, but I think it's out there for Old Man.
Right on.
And so
what are you going to go with? What are you going to go with?
That is a tough one to top. But I think I'm going to kick things off with a very different movie than Old Man. And that is Bring It On, Cheer or Die.
Rah, rah.
Which is, I don't believe at the time of this recording that it has a specific release date yet, but it is coming to the Sci-Fi Channel sometime this fall. And I'm super pumped for this film. It's co-written by Rebecca McKendry, who a lot of us in the horror community know from, she just had her new movie Glorious come out. And of course, all the great podcast work that she's done over the years. And Dana Schwartz also co-wrote the screenplay. This movie is something that's just so exciting to me because I grew up watching like the first Bring It On reruns all the time. It just was one of those movies that always seemed to be on like USA Network on a Saturday afternoon. And so I just kind of just saw that movie over and over. And I love how they're like taking a franchise, because they've had a lot of direct to VOD or DVD sequels over the years, and they're taking that franchise, which is very familiar to people, and they're adding like this slasher element to it and a horror element to it. And I'm just super curious to see what that looks like. I think it's a great like backdrop for a horror movie, like super competitive world of cheerleading competitions. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how they pull it off. And quite honestly, from what Sci-Fi did last Halloween season with like the new Slumber Party Massacre movie, and Chucky, even the Day of the Dead series. I'm just curious to see. I feel like they're in good hands with a movie like this.
Yeah. The Bring It On series, I saw the first one and enjoyed it. I thought it was a good upbeat comedy, but never saw any of the ones beyond that. And which is fine, whatever. But it is, I think it's very interesting. You brought up a point about how the series has been going on for a while, and now they're introducing this horror element. But we've seen that a lot in like the last 5 or 6 years, right? You have on TV, especially, Riverdale, etc. Everything becomes what starts out as something normal. Now all of a sudden it's Archie's a vampire, fucking a succubus or something. I don't know. And Jughead is a zombie and he's failing Spanish. I don't know. I don't watch the show. I can't vouch for any of what I just said.
It is out there enough where you're not entirely off base. I mean, even if you're not technically correct, so you're on the right track.
Okay, but I do love this cross pollination of genres, especially what people tend to forget. The ones who get upset is it's all make believe. You can take an imaginary comic that someone invented and created, and that's about eating hamburgers and getting the best girl and marrying it with the zombies and demons and everything, because they're all make-believe. And it's okay for your toys from different worlds to play together. I think, why not? Life is short. Yeah. The more, the merrier. That's what I say. So, bring it on, cheer or die. And like you said, it's the perfect situation for something like this, right? It's very much, I think, possibly in the vein, of course, we haven't seen it yet, of like a Ryan Murphy-ish kind of tongue-in-cheek take on it. Maybe that's not what they're going for. It's hard to say. But two things I can't speak to about it upcoming. One is Rebecca McKendry with Glorious. She proved before that she has a great sense of humor, but film-wise, she has a great sense of humor. So I'm looking forward to it, to what she has to offer on that front. And Missy Pyle, I'm a big fan of Missy Pyle. She's one of those people, anything that she's in, it makes it better just by her being there, her presence. So she's the other big draw for me for that. So yeah, bring it on, bring it on.
I love it. Yeah, I'm excited. Whenever it does premiere, that'll be a must watch. And it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be, I think, a perfect match for just all sorts of horror hijinks. So we will definitely keep an eye out for that. And that will lead us to round number 2 for you, Scott.
Oh,
what is
round 2? Okay, ding, ding.
Your second
Here's the
pick.
one that I'm hoping by the time you folks listen to this, I'll have seen it, hopefully. And that is, comes out this weekend, Barbarian, with Bill Skarsgård, Justin Long, and I forget the young lady's name. I'm trying to not find as much information.
Georgina Campbell, I believe.
Thank you, Georgina Campbell. I'm trying to find as little information about this movie as I can, just because the buzz is becoming deafening and overwhelming on it. And it's a film that is allegedly filled with surprises and twists and turns, and one of those that you're supposed to go in super cold for. So of course I go on IMDb, just so I can find out, the director's name as
Right.
Zach Kreger. But you really have to like dodge with your eyeballs everything on IMDb, because just from a plot description to a character name can give away. It's like a landmine, the IMDb landmine, I call it. You never know when you're going to step in it, right? Then you have goofs and trivia and questions, and I just fly by that stuff, and I won't even adjust my eyeballs and look at even keywords, because you know how it is after, like, when you've been reading forever, you're good at picking out keywords. Well, you should also try to be good at ignoring keywords, but it's hard, especially in horror, when you see a lot of the same keywords and themes, right? So it's super hard. But long story short, all I know about Barbarian is a girl is double booked at an Airbnb. She stays anyway. Shit goes sideways. This is as much as I'm willing to learn about it. Do you know anything more about it? Can you speak on it?
So thankfully, this one I've been able to pretty much avoid spoilers, like for whatever happens in that like second half of the movie, because we've all seen on Twitter, like anyone who's seen it just has like the same like mind-blowing reaction to whatever is going on in that house, which I thankfully do not know yet. I've been able to avoid that. And I've seen multiple trailers for it too. I think they've been playing it over the summer in front of some movies, but thankfully the trailer still doesn't really give away anything that I think people are talking about, which is great, because I feel like that would have been such a shame. Like, it's so rare to have a movie have this much hype and you don't really know what the hype is even about.
Yeah.
So thankfully I really have no idea what to expect, other than that it's going to like get really intense in the latter half of the film. And it, like you said, it'll be out September 9th in theaters. The buzz in front of this one is just like, it's been really fascinating to watch online, just the reactions. Like, everybody who's seen it almost universally has just loved the movie. I saw
one bad review, and it wasn't even a review. It was just a tweet. It was someone who had seen the movie, and this person said Barbarian is the worst movie I've ever seen. So
oh my
that's
gosh.
That's one person.
Okay, well,
but then everyone else has been saying, but even still, I'm fascinated by, well, I want to talk to you like after I see it, whether I like it or not, but what makes it, the worst movie?
That's actually kind of a like call to go see it too, because you're like, not just a bad movie, but the worst movie. That kind of makes me interested.
I want to know why you think it's the worst. Like, I genuinely curious why it's the worst movie.
Mm-hmm.
I love justifications that people have when they're passionate about something. And I'm fascinated by the takes. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Maybe it is the worst movie I'll ever see. Maybe it's overhyped and it's pretty good. Maybe it's really good. Who knows? Hopefully this weekend I'll find out.
Yes. And I think a lot of people, I think the sooner you can see it, the better, because I think we're going to start getting a lot of more spoilers online. And I think it's just such a great concept for a horror, like the Airbnb element of it, I think is really relatable and such a great idea for horror movies. So definitely will be keeping an eye on that one.
And plus it's not only I think the amount of twists in the movie, but it's like what happens is supposed to be really bad shit. And excuse me, Malignant was the last time that we had bad shit, and this is our Malignant of of the year of 2022.
I love that's a great blurb. It's like it's a batshit malignant spiritual sequel. Like,
We'll find out.
We can only hope. So that is definitely right around the corner at the time this episode comes out. All of you listening can go see that one. And so for my next pick, we're going to leave the Airbnb and we're going to head to another location that might be right down the road, depending on where you live, because they pop up everywhere this time of year. And that is Spirit Halloween, the movie, which is just such a great title. I love how it just lets you know exactly what it is, like no bones about it. Which is coming out. It was reported by Bloody Disgusting that it's coming out September 30th as a limited theatrical release. I know Popcorn Fright's Wicked Weekend down in Florida will be doing a special screening of it. And you can also catch it on VOD on October 11th. And yeah, it's going to be coming to DVD as well. So it's going to be readily
Derek?
Available.
Tell us the story. What's it about? This is such a Derek movie. You all know it. This is a Derek movie. Everyone pull up a chair, sit around by the fire. Derek's going to tell us the scary story of the Spirit Halloween, the movie.
Well, it sounds like it could be a Disney Channel original movie, just the spirit of it. But so Spirit Halloween takes place in a Spirit Halloween.
Shut up. Go on.
And it takes place in a Spirit Halloween where three students, like middle school students, go there one night to experience the hauntings of the Spirit Halloween to see if it truly is haunted. And things actually go horribly wrong. And wouldn't you know it, but the practical effects and the decorations and all of those animatronics come to life. They must try and survive the night. They must survive the night. And that is the true spirit of Halloween, of the Spirit Halloween movie.
Well, you sold me on it. I'm there. No, that actually sounds cool. Do you know what the rating is on it? Are they shooting for like a Goosebumps audience? I'm guessing is what they're going for.
I believe so. Yeah, I think it's definitely family friendly rating. It's going to be, I think, in that like PG-13 rating. So, it's kind of fun to have like a family friendly horror movie come out this time of year. And I think we've been getting those rather consistently the last several years. So that is cool. And then also the cast includes Christopher Lloyd and Rachel Lee Cook.
That's right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, I'm just busting your balls here, but no, it's a cool idea. It's amazing. It took someone this long to jump on it. It's bizarre. Honestly. It really is that no one has hopped on this before. I hope it turns out well, because it's great to have more just cool gateway movies.
Yes, we need more of these, and
just family friendly horror. Like more. Like, come on.
Yes, give us more Goosebumps.
That's right. When I was a kid, I had to go to the theater and see Burnt Offerings. That's not a movie for a little kid.
That was traumatizing gateway horror.
That's like being thrown into the deep end of the pool when you're a baby. But
sink or swim.
But I survived. I needed I probably could have used a Spirit Halloween back then. So bring it on.
Awesome.
Cheer or Die and Spirit Halloween. Okay.
I wish
next?
That was our next pick. That would have been a perfect segue.
Who's up?
I believe you are. It's time to step up to the plate once again, Scott. What is your pick number 3?
Okay, you know what? I'm putting this baby in the middle of the pack. It's no surprise. Come on, Halloween ends. Does it end tonight? Does it end tomorrow night? No, it ends October 14th at a theater and a streaming service near you, or VOD, I should say, premium VOD. You're going to be paying $25 or $30 to watch that. at home. Is it going to end? It's going to end David Gordon Green's involvement with the series, I'm assuming, and Jamie Lee Curtis. They're putting a nice bow on it. Whether the bow, what the bow is going to look like. I've been trying to hear, again, this is one of those things I want to know as little of it as possible going in, just because I've heard it takes a doozy of a turn that is going to, they say, upset a lot of people, which just makes it more exciting for me, because what are the stakes? They're nothing. It's a movie. I hope it's a good movie. I've enjoyed this trilogy, 2 parts of this trilogy so far, and I hope it's as goofy and high strung as the last movie, as Halloween Kills. I love that movie. I don't think it's a particularly good movie, but I think it's a great movie. And so if that makes sense, and I'm really looking forward to Halloween Ends, because you know what, it's high quality. I'm not going to say it's high quality garbage, but it's high quality melodrama. If the original is this sobering, frightening, terrifying film, the new ones have been that blown up, and that quiet sense of dread is gone. But they're so slick and competently made, and very good in parts, that I think as a whole, this trilogy, and I hope Halloween Ends really lands it, like, send them to space at the end. Like,
just go for it.
Just go for it.
I know.
We've already had Dangertainment, so
let's do it, man. I really, that would be amazing. What if it all comes back to Dangertainment this whole time? Like, this was all like a Dangertainment TV show that we've been watching, and that, like, Jamie Lee Curtis is watching, like, in the movie, and then, like, just make it as meta as you can.
Or go all Saint Elsewhere, and you pull back, and it's an autistic kid holding a snow globe, and the entire Halloween series has been in his mind.
Whoa. See, that is deep.
Yeah.
Well, there's a few ways. I would not count anything out in this one based on how the last one ended.
But I prefer they go to space.
That would be fun. I think so. I mean, if Jason got to do it, why not Michael?
Like Laurie books passage on, like, Jeff Bezos's thing, and then she gets on there with William Shatner, and Michael climbs aboard, and then William Shatner gets to help Laurie kill Michael as they orbit the Earth, and Jeff Bezos makes another $1 billion,
which is so perfect, because you're bringing the whole the actor who the mask is based on, that life cast, you're bringing him into the franchise in a way that actually makes sense in real life too, based on what he's done recently.
You're welcome.
I love so if there is a Halloween 4,
my PayPal's open, so Universal.
I think we have an elevator pitch that will blow people's minds. Mm-hmm. But this, it's so perfect. I mean, you could almost have this movie ends with a question mark in the title, just because obviously
I hope so.
Evil really never dies, even if it does die tonight. But I'm super. This one
evil orbits tonight.
I love that. I love the idea of, like, Laurie booking a flight on this to, like, get her mind off of everything.
Right. And it's Larry is. And Shatner. Oh, Christ.
It just writes itself. But I love too how Will Patton has kind of popped up throughout this new trilogy, and he's like as unkillable as Michael is at this point. After, I could not believe that we had the joy of seeing Will Patton come back in Halloween Kills.
Yes, and he's mobile in this one. He's back up on his feet in this, because it's like 4 years later. Right.
Yep. So there's some time that's gone by. I just cannot wait to see. I'll be watching like through my fingers because I just literally have no idea what's going to happen next at this point. But I really, I love
great.
that too.
I think it's great because there's like people online that are putting side by side pictures of Laurie stabbing Michael with the knitting needles 40 years ago or 44 years ago, and now in this new movie the knitting needles are back, and they're like putting side by side, like then circling it like it's a fucking Zapruder film or something, right? Like it's like, thanks, I got it. Yeah, it's
the attention to detail, the
it's
obsession,
not that it's not that deep. It's
it's great.
Callback. It's a big call. It's a simple callback, but listen, it can. I don't care if it's trashy as long as it's trashy fun and that it's well made trashy. Like if you're going, whatever movie you're going to make, just make it well. That's all I ask. I know the performances are going to be good. I know the score is going to kick ass. I just hope that David Gordon Green and what's his name?
Oh, Danny McBride.
And Danny McBride, that they have
co-writer.
That they have the courage of their convictions. Like whatever they're planning to do, I hope they stick with it and stick to their guns and go, you know what, this is what we wanted to do with it, and we're happy. And if people don't like it, well, screw them.
I think that's on the latest poster too. So just to put that out there. And that will be October 14th in theaters and on Peacock. So it's going to be, again, you can watch it from the comfort of your own home or in theaters on the big screen. And that is really going to be right around the corner. So we will know a lot more very soon.
You can do that at the same time that you do it with Old Man. Go to the theater, watch Old Man and Halloween, go home, spend another $50 and watch them both again.
It's great. I love that we can just enjoy movies in so many different ways.
That's right. Not pirating though.
Absolutely not.
No.
And so that, I guess, takes me to my third pick.
Yeah.
It's weird because I almost felt like that was like both of our picks just because we're so excited for it.
Well, there's a lot of crossover going on.
There is.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you told me your picks before the episode, I was like, oh, right, let's check the backup list here.
But no, great. The more the merrier.
Absolutely. And this next one that I'm going to pick is also one that's been rather buzzed about lately, but maybe not in reasons people expected. And that is Don't Worry, Darling, which will be released on September 23rd in theaters. Yeah. Of course, if you've been on Twitter anytime over the last week, there's been a lot of behind the scenes drama and speculation about the cast and crew of this movie. But I am really genuinely interested in the story, like the movie itself. Ever since I saw like the first trailer over the summer, it just the movie where it's kind of like a 1950s setting. Florence Pugh plays this like housewife who is kind of slowly, potentially losing her mind, but she seems to actually be kind of on the track of like unfurling this larger mystery of this like Stepford Wives type neighborhood where everything is way too good as it seems kind of vibe. And it actually has that like Stepford Wives and like Parents from 1989. That whole like 50s horror setting. I just love that aesthetic. So I think this will be a really interesting one. Aside from everything that's been going on lately behind the scenes.
Yeah. And it's got a touch of, I think like maybe Rosemary's Baby, not directly with the subject matter, but kind of that whole, like cabal-esque kind of atmosphere of there's someone behind the curtain and who's pulling the strings, that kind of psychological, stuff going on. But yeah, I mean, they need to rein it in because all the behind scenes stuff which makes me concerned for the quality of the movie, because I'm not hearing the buzz for the movie above all the chatter of the behind the scenes stuff. So, but I am interested in seeing it. I am big a Florence Pugh fan. I don't know if Harry Styles can act his way out of a paper bag, or if he's just a good boyfriend. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. And we'll and
Chris
we'll
Pine.
see. And Chris Pine, the man who just is like, I'm getting paid and I'm happy to be here and I'm staying out of everything, even if people are spitting on me. So it looks interesting. I'm not going to lie to you. It looks interesting. Booksmart, which I don't,
Right.
which I wasn't. I liked Booksmart. I don't think it was as revelatory or as great as it was made out to be. It was kind of just another version of Superbad, really. But I thought it had some nice directorial touches by Olivia Wilde. So I'm looking. I think she does have a good eye. So I'm looking forward to seeing what she pulls off, and Florence Pugh's performance, especially.
Yes. Yeah. It looks like it'll be, I'll be very curious to see. I know there's been initial reactions out of the Venice Film Festival, but really curious to see what everyone, what the audience score ends up being on that one. And it will be out on September 23rd. So the wait is nearly over. It's amazing how many horror movies are coming out in September this year, so that we'll actually have a lot to get into even before October. So it's right around the corner, and we shall see.
Yeah, I mean, listen, no one's going to want to go up against Halloween Ends. Halloween Ends is going to do some big numbers. It just it's just inevitable. I think, because we are all Charlie Brown, and Lucy holds that football, and that football is always Halloween. And we go to kick it thinking it's the end, and it always gets pulled away from us. Listen, that's the nature of the beast, and I'm there for it. Okay. Am I up next?
You are, Scott. Pick number four.
Right. Pick number 4. Speaking of indie filmmakers, Ty West has had a hell of a year. He decides to put out a movie called X, which I just saw recently and am head over heels in love with. I can hardly wait to show it to the missus. And it's one of those, it's a gospel one for me that I like to preach wherever I go. But to make a good year even better for the man, as I finished watching X, the announcement drops that a prequel, Pearl, is coming out this very same year. Wow, talk about early Christmas present for me. Coming off, I'm still buzzing from seeing X. It's still planted in my mind so strongly. And to be able to get more of this vision from him and Mia Goth is just, I'm so excited for it. And the advance word is it's terrific, which is kind of what I was assuming it was going to be, just because X is so strong. I'm so looking forward to finding out how our little old Pearl became a serial killer.
Yeah, I love that this is even a movie in the first place, that they kind of like secretly made it, and Ty West and Mia Goth co-wrote it together. So you're getting like her input into the character. And it's cool that it's like the same location as the movie set in the 70s of X, but we're going to see it like in 1918 during like World War I and then influenza pandemic. And so I'll be really curious. It'll be like Easter eggs of seeing like, oh, that's where so-and-so dies like 50 years from now. But then this person died there, now, and just seeing her in that environment, like back then, and how she became, the way she was, and how she became this killer. It's going to be, I think it'll be really fascinating. And Heather Wixson has a great review of the movie on Daily Dead, and it's spoiler free, but it in the review she says it's very much like an ode to like the golden age of cinema as well, like those movies from like the 30s and 40s. Sure. And the Technicolor era and everything. Yeah. So I love it. Just sounds so like gleefully demented. I just want to like watch it as soon as it comes out.
Well, and it's like you were saying though too, that it even exists means that we're in such a healthy place for horror that a film and X was not a big budgeted film by any means, but the response to it was so great that, and the culture of horror film is so alive right now that someone said, yes, go make this prequel idea you want to do. Here, go do it, make it. And it's a reality. And, just like that. And I think it just, as all these films do, speaks to what possibilities we lie ahead of us for horror, and just in like a month's time alone.
Oh yeah. It's amazing. Cause we have this is another September movie that's coming out, and it's, and I think there's actually plans for potentially like a third movie in this X saga where we might get to see what happens after X. I don't think anything's like officially been like, I know there's just been discussion that they want to do that. So hopefully maybe at the end of Pearl, we'll see a teaser for X3 or something, who knows, but
not to be confused with Extra 3, Watch the Skies,
which you can watch on Tubi.
If you dare. Yes, you can watch it on Tubi if you dare.
So yeah, lots to look forward to, including my fourth pick, which is actually an October movie. So we've been doing a lot of September. I feel like
officially, we had a couple Octobers too, haven't we?
That's true. We did have Halloween Ends and An Old Man. So I shouldn't say that we didn't have anything, but this one will be coming out October 20th on Shudder. And the movie is VHS 99.
Right.
Because we're gonna get scared like it's 1999 all over again. The latest installment in the VHS found footage franchise that we've had so many movies over the years. And this is going to be the latest one. And it's going to be set around like the whole Y2K scare of late 1999 going into the year 2000. And I think that is such a great setting and time period for that, for so much like paranoid type horror. I mean, I remember like I was like 8 years old at that time, and my friend's dad was like putting ice cubes in the bathtub, and like I was wondering if, like The Simpsons had an episode about the world ending. So I was kind of expecting the world to end a little bit back then. Like somehow it was just going to all come to an end. So
I love that. Ice cubes in the bathtub. What are you gonna make? Are you making a fucking yucca flux? Like seriously.
Plenty. Just put the beer cans in there and you'll be good. Are
you having a kegger? Like
hey, we prep a little differently in Minnesota. We just kind of, ice is our friend here. So
I was gonna say, just, like, yeah, but that's the first thing you guys stock up on in Minnesota is ice.
You're like, that's gonna melt eventually, right?
And like you don't have enough of it, like you have to stock up on it.
Right. Yeah, I know. We can't just wait for the 10,000 plus lakes to freeze over for 3/4 of the year. We just, especially in January when it's New Year's Eve. So, but yeah, it's a strangely nostalgic time period for me. So I'm excited that they're going back to the 90s again after 94.
Were you a fan of 94?
I never actually saw it.
You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen Hail Rotma, but that one, I think what I'm going to do is do like a double feature where I'm going to wait because I've waited this long already. So I think I'm going to do like a 94, 99 double feature because they're both the 90s.
I was not a fan of it. Brian O'Brien was a big fan of it. I think Jonathan I liked it too, but I know Brian was
Mhm.
a huge fan of it. I'd like to go back and watch it again because it could have just been a case of I was just not having it. I was just not in the mood for it.
Yeah,
I
that
didn't hate it by any means, and I certainly thought it was. Uh, there were some cool segments in it, but I think I'll go back and watch it again and just see if a different mood will alter it, because I look forward to all these when they come out, because it's great to see. Um, well, there's all kinds of anthology horror, and I like all kinds. I like the kinds that are done by just one creator, and you have a
Mhm.
cohesiveness. And I do, on the other hand, I like to see uh, new up and coming talent get a chance to shoot their shot with a short. That's
Yeah.
exciting. That's exciting too. And the VHS series kind of walks that line a
Oh
lot,
yeah.
and so I kind of have a not a love hate, but a like whatever relationship with them. When the segments are great, like Safe Haven in
Oh
two,
yeah.
it's like, well, this
An all
is
timer.
it's an all timer, and
Yeah.
it sits with other great anthology shorts. But I always look forward to them. And is this from, I'm assuming, what's the creative team for 99
So
compared
this
to 94?
this one, so 99 for the filmmakers has Maggie Levin, who did one of the Into the Dark segments, My Valentine.
Okay.
Then it has Johannes Roberts, who did 47 Meters Down.
Okay.
Most recently,
Strangers.
yep, Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City. So he's coming off some really big budget stuff. Flying Lotus will be
Okay.
one of the filmmakers. Tyler McIntyre, who did Tragedy Girls, will be doing one of the segments.
Okay.
And speaking of up and comers, Joseph and Vanessa Winter, whose new movie Deadstream will be coming out on Shudder this October, they are also doing a segment. And
Okay.
I can say Deadstream is a lot of fun. I think people are really going to like that one. So
Yeah.
that's another one that I would definitely recommend. So it's gonna be an all-star lineup. They have some big hitters in this lineup.
Yeah, that's a mixture of definitely some more established talent, which 94 was too. 94 had some big swingers as well. And I like that they're doing a mixture of the more well-known with the other. You've got me more. See, when you told me that list of filmmakers, you're a good hype man there.
That's what I know. That's what I try to do. I'm just shouting from the rooftops over here. So
you do it,
and
baby.
I think we have time to shout from the rooftops one more time.
Okay, all right. With my number 5,
your number 5, rounding out your top 5 most anticipated fall horror films.
Yeah, I mean, it's in 5th place, but it could be number 1 in my thoughts forever. It's hard to say, but I know a lot of people are very excited, as am I, for the new Hellraiser reimagining from David Bruckner. And of course, written by Ben Collins and Luke Piotrowski, the screenwriting team, who did with Mr. Bruckner The Night House, which is a terrific film, which is part of a lot of the anticipation for this new reimagining. That and the fact that Clive Barker himself is on board is another big part of the puzzle, and I think the one of the biggest parts, and it's going to be the central focus, whether that's the intent or not, is the casting of Jamie Clayton, a trans woman, as Pinhead. We've seen the first images. They're beautiful. They're striking. I think they are precisely what Mr. Barker had in mind when he created this character, or certainly not far from it. She looks spectacular. we've only seen a couple images. We've seen, I think, 1 Cenobite I've seen. Maybe there's more out there, but again, I don't want to be fed too much before I see it, because we're getting so much great horror. And I would like to go back to a time, and this is on me, where I didn't digest too much information before going in, and trying to be going as fresh-eyed as I can before God only knows what Jamie is going to do with my eyes when she gets a hold of them. But it looks so intriguing. There's such good writers. He's such a good director. This is not a cash-in movie. This is not some dimension, hang on to it bullshit. Put a guy with toothpicks on his face and call it a day. This is filmmakers extending a vision, reimagining a vision with the help of and approval of, most important, the approval of the creator of these worlds. So yeah, Hellraiser. Let's go.
Oh yeah. It's time. It's finally time, because I feel like we've waited so long for this movie, for like any like new Hellraiser, from what's been teased over the last few years with everything that's been in development. But finally on October 7th on Hulu, we can all watch it from home. And I'm so pumped that it's just going to be like a new Hellraiser movie, like a cinematic experience that we're going to see with in very capable hands in the cast and crew. And like you said, I feel like they've kept this one, like the plot part of it, really under wraps, and really kept it very ambiguous and not giving too much away. And I feel like I hope it kind of stays that way, because I think the Hellraiser name itself is marketing enough to get people in.
Well, you know what? As long as it's not about a cop who is investigating a murder, you know,
yeah.
as if listen, if I know they're not going to do that. They would not do that to us, because that was that's the plot of half of the direct-to-video Dimension ones. But I mean, yeah, I'm not even concerned that of the quality of it, because I know it's coming from the purest of intentions. So I'm having no cynicism going into this one whatsoever. Just a wide-eyed excitement and a big smile on my face as to what they're going to bring, because I think it's going to be great.
Yeah. I think I would definitely concur with that. And I think it's just one more reason to look forward to October. A Hellraiser movie week, so in between, I mean, within a couple weeks, a Hellraiser movie and a new Halloween movie. It doesn't get much better than that. We'll just one day hopefully get a Friday the 13th and a Nightmare on Elm Street in there as well. But I think this is plenty to look forward to in the meantime. And that leads me to my fifth pick, another one to look forward to. And it's close. There's a couple that I'm like, they're right there for me. But I think I'm going to go with the movie My Best Friend's Exorcism.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I will let you do your thing. I just want to say, as with anyone out there, as soon as I saw the trailer for this, there's only one person that I thought of, and I'm sure you did too, folks, and that's Derek Anderson. Please proceed.
Oh, well, that is a lovely intro, Scott. And this one is, there's a lot to look forward to with this one. It's based on the novel of the same name by Grady Hendrix, who has been absolutely killing it with horror novels in recent years. He's had so much influence on the genre recently. The Southern Book Club's Guide to, I believe it's vampire hunting. This is based on My Best Friend's Exorcism. It's set in 1988, and it just has such a great like 80s coming of age, like let's go to the mall kind of vibe to it. And then you have that great like aesthetic to it, and then you throw in this exorcism plot where one of these best friends, their friendship is tested when one of them is like possessed by a demon, and they have to go through this whole like exorcism kind of journey to get to kind of reclaim their friendship and make sure that friendship prevails. So I'm super excited to see this one. I actually haven't read the book yet. I do have it. My best friend Zach gave it to me as a gift recently, and I don't know if I'm gonna like wait to read it before seeing the movie or before. Sometimes I like to read it after because I feel like you discover more and then you don't compare the two as much. But I'm just super excited that it's, going to get this really rad, as you would say in the 80s treatment. And I think the trailer looks great. And the fact that it's on Prime Video too. I mean, a lot of people will be able to check it out and just maybe pop it in on a weeknight or something, which is, with as much theatrical stuff as we're getting, I think this is a really cool one where you can just kind of make a big bowl of popcorn, get your best bud and watch this. So I'm looking forward to it.
The trailer, I found the trailer was great. And again, it's great to see, like with all the picks that we've had today, the variety of everything going on for all tastes, whether you're looking for flat out gore, or whether you're looking for maybe something more psychological, a mystery, maybe you're looking for just some good indie weirdness. It's all here. Whether you're looking for some good teen action. God, that sounds wrong, Scott. Not teen action. If you're looking for good family friendly fun, it's all here. And that's within a span of what we're talking, like 6 week span. And we haven't even covered, and we missed a lot too.
We did.
That could be great.
A shout out to Smile. There's a lot of, which looks like it could be a lot of fun. There's a lot of stuff streaming. I mean, Shudder has the whole Halloween lineup coming out of original movies over the next several weeks. Yeah. And I'm sure Hulu's got stuff. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. It's amazing that we even had enough to do, like, each of us have our own top 5, where it's like, that's 10 movies over the next, 6 weeks that you could watch. So we're just we're very spoiled right now as horror fans. There's just so much content to enjoy.
Oh, we have been for a few years, but I need to point out, Derek, that I never said the word rad in the 80s. As an 80s kid, I can tell, and I never had any friends who said rad.
Really? I feel so deceived. So is that just more a perception of the 80s after the fact?
I think there was a part of North American culture. And again, I wasn't growing up as a teenager in North America until my later teens. But I think it was more of a North American culture thing for like skateboarding. Right.
Or like the BMX movie Rad.
Or the BMX movie Rad. Right. Exactly. I think it was more pertained to that. Just like I'm sure a lot of people in the 60s didn't say groovy.
It was a little too on the nose.
And I don't know why I'm going on about this. It's a fine word. It's a fine movie. Rad. If you say rad, congratulations. I ain't mad at you. I'm just saying I never personally said mad or rad.
So it's on the record, Scott ain't mad about rad.
I ain't mad about rad. There's a t-shirt worn by no one ever.
I don't know. I think we could get it trending, but maybe that'll be maybe we can get that as a Corpse Club perk in the Corpse Club merch shop.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Be nicer to people, man.
Well, it's been quite the journey, Scott. And before we wrap things up, I want to give a shout out to Brian Christopher, who we were mentioning earlier. He is running your good friend Brian, Scott.
Oh, that one. Okay.
I don't know if he's your friend or your nemesis, but maybe both.
You'd have to ask him. I have no problem with the guy.
So we definitely don't have a problem
whatever.
with him. He's doing great things. He is running a Hellraiser charity fundraiser on Daily Dead's Twitch channel, which you can find at Daily Dead Twitch. And basically what he'll be doing is he'll be live streaming himself.
Stop for a second, Derek.
Yes.
Speak slowly and explain this to me because I'm a little frightened. I haven't twitched. I've never twitched. I think I caught the end of a Twitch that Brian did with Kay from Salem Horror Fest. I think that's what it was. I don't know. So I'm a little frightened. I'm doing one of these as well as you and many others to help out for charity. I'm gladly there. I don't know where is. Tell me what a Twitch is. Derek, tell me what I'm going to be doing on this thing. Okay.
It's so Twitch, and it's not like if you have a mosquito on your arm and you twitch it to get it off. It's not like that, Scott. This is like a website that our dear listeners can go to, like twitch.com, and you can create like your own username there, kind of like a Twitter handle where you kind of create your own username. And then you will be able, then you get access to watching like videos of people as they play video games, which is that this is used quite a bit for that. Or in the case of Brian, you can watch him as he watches all of the Hellraiser movies over the course of 2 weekends.
Now, let me ask you, do I have to insert quarters into a slot as I'm watching him?
Like 1 quarter every hour.
1 quarter every hour?
You just keep the meter running, basically, is the gist of it. And
so actually, I'm watching him watch a movie, or we're watching the movie together and people are watching us watch the movie?
Yeah. Yes. So you will be, and I believe you'll be doing that like through Zoom, where you'll be set up watching, like you'll each together. Be watching. Yep. Kind of like how we do those commentaries like on Corpse Club.
So he'll have the movie then, because I don't have this movie. He and I think he knows this, and I think because he's an asshole and he's toying with me, he picks Deader for me. I've never seen Deader, and it's probably, I don't know, it's probably thought of as the worst one. I'm just guessing. And he's like, no, I'm going to make Scott watch this one. I'm assuming that's his game plan anyway.
I'm not going to say he wouldn't do that, just knowing the relationship between you two. And I will be watching Hellraiser Hellseeker, which has a 0% score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Now, which one is Hellseeker about? What's going on in Hellseeker?
Also one that I've never seen, but I'm trusting Brian on this.
Is that the cult?
I'm hoping,
or am I doing the cult one?
I think, they might both be cult ones.
Hellworld was the one with Henry Cavill.
Yes, and that one, our editor-in-chief, Jonathan James, will be commenting on.
I don't hate that movie. I saw that one. I don't hate that one. But I haven't seen Deader, and I'm assuming it's awful, and that's why he's making me watch it for charity.
But it's for a good cause, right? Because
absolutely.
The first weekend, it will be a charity supporting the Trans Empowerment Project, and he's got different tiers set up for the fundraisers. So there's going to be a lot of fun stuff happening throughout the live stream as we hopefully meet the donation that we want to match. And I believe it's like a $500 goal, and hopefully even beyond that. And then weekend 2, which will be the 16th and the 17th, will be for the charity Sister Song. So it's going to be 2 great causes. And in addition to Scott, me, and Jonathan, there's a lot of great guests from both Daily Dead and other websites and podcasts. So it's going to be really, really cool. It all kicks off Friday, September 9th, which is actually the evening this episode is released, and it starts at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So that's when the fundraiser will kick off, and it will be running at different time. It'll be running in the evenings of Friday and Saturday, the weekend of the 9th and the 10th, and then the following weekend on Friday, September 16th and Saturday, September 17th. So there's going to be 2 weekends of Cenobite mayhem.
I think that's when I'm up, is the 17th.
Yes, you are. And I am this weekend. You are the second weekend. So we're really, we're spreading ourselves out.
So Derek, as a person who just wants to view it, I just simply go to twitch.com and I activate an account there, and then I can look for a stream to watch, like Brian's Hellraiser Bonanza or whatever it's called.
Yes, and if you go to Twitch and you just look up Daily Dead Twitch, all one word, capitalized Daily Dead Twitch, but you'll be able to find it either way. And I believe
you haven't seen me work a computer, but carry on.
And I believe you can watch regardless if you have an account or not. But if you want to comment and take part in commenting during the live stream, super easy to make an account. And then we'll also have a link to make a donation to the highlighted charity during the live stream. So it'll be really easy for people to follow along and donate and just take part in the fun. I know Brian has a lot of fun stuff lined up for this throughout the live stream on both weekends. So it's going to be great. He has such sights to show us all, and hopefully a lot of money raised too for two great causes.
Absolutely. So looking forward to it. A little scared, but looking forward to it.
Aren't we all? But we also, in addition to that, we want to thank the other Brian, our engineer, for helping us out each and every episode. And as always, we want to thank our listeners, including those of you who have signed up for a Corpse Club membership. Make sure to visit corpseclub.com to check out our latest episode. You can also sign up to become a member, which will give you access to all sorts of ghoulish goodies, from our t-shirt and pin to the ability to suggest an episode topic. If you want to hear Scott and I do another top 5 anticipated movies, or maybe talk about other Hellraiser sequels, it's the sky's the limit there. So definitely check that out. And also don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Every rating and review really does help. You can also find us on Google Play, SoundCloud, and all of your favorite podcast providers. If you want to get in touch, you can reach us anytime at contact@corpseclub.com, or on Twitter @DailyDeadNews, or @CorpseClub, and on Instagram and Facebook under Corpse Club. Thanks again for listening, and until next time, stay scary.